Today, I'm going to tell you how I fix gas with one question. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Be sure to check out my free upcoming live stream concert, Freebeat Live: The Next Level. Today's patron shoutout goes to Everett Vincent. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So today I want to tell you how I have basically fixed my gas by asking one question every time I start to feel a little bit of gas coming on. Gas, of course, in the context of this video, is gear acquisition syndrome. So get your childish comments out of the way right now. Just pause, go ahead and make them, and come back. Gear acquisition syndrome, meaning the constant feeling of needing new gear, or the feeling that new gear will fix my music or make me a better musician, and you just always have to have the latest and greatest or new things to make yourself a better player. Of course, it's not true at all, and we've talked pretty extensively about gas here on the channel, and I've even mentioned that it's not necessarily a bad thing all the time, which is true. It's not always a bad thing. Most of the time, I feel we need something to kind of fuel us and inspire us and push us forward, and sometimes that can totally be a new piece of gear. That's quite all right. However, I'm sure most of you out there are like me, and more often than not, gas can be a pretty deadly thing to deal with. It can be an inspiration stopper, a creativity blocker, generally all around a wallet killer, and just a bummer. So I stepped back and analyzed my entire gear purchasing process, all the way from looking at what I want to, researching it and watching more YouTube videos than I really have time for, and then actually purchasing the gear, and then waiting for it, and then finally unboxing and using it. And I have identified really the 2 points that I think are most crucial. A, where the hype is at its highest for that piece of gear, and B, when that hype dies away. And that has led me to the question we're going to get to. I will say real quick, this is the question I ask myself. We're all different, of course, so this question may not work for you, but hopefully the process of identifying it will. Also, I am just going to tell you what the question is right now, so no one accuses me of clickbaiting or anything like that. The question is, how will I feel in the moments that I unbox this device and the first 10 minutes or so that I use the device? So that's the question. Let's go ahead and analyze why I've started asking myself that. So when I first hear about a new piece of gear, I get really excited for it, usually, even if it has nothing to do with anything that I want. That's just how it is. I'm a very excitable person. ADHD life, So if the gear strikes me as something I might want, I start researching it pretty heavily. I will deep dive and spend, entire days. So we're talking like 20 to 30 hours probably researching a piece of gear, analyzing how it'll fit in my setup, how I will use it. In my case, because I do YouTube, how I can present it on camera and things like that. I've got a whole checklist. Maybe I'll share that with you all in the future as well. But if I determine I want it, I usually just buy it right then and there, which that's a whole different problem as well. Then my hype really starts to build. I get more and more excited the closer I get to delivery day, and on the day of delivery, my hype is usually off the freaking charts. I can't get anything done because I'm constantly clicking refresh on the browser window with the delivery services, tracking page there. I can't help it. I know a lot of you all can't help it either. It's just exciting to get new gear. Sweetwater has a whole hashtag new gear day, So then the gear finally shows up. I get it on my desk. I open up the box. I take the gear out and I start unboxing it. And almost every time, the hype immediately starts to fade. Doesn't matter what the gear is, doesn't matter my enjoyment level of immediately unboxing it. The hype always starts to fade right there, and continues to fade as I power the gear on and use it for the first 10 minutes or so. Like I said, it happens no matter what the piece of gear is. It even happened with the Synthstrom Deluge when I unboxed that, which is my favorite piece of electronic music gear that I own, and I use it every day, regardless if I'm filming a video or not, or even like actually working on music or not. I will always sit down and even just like program a drum beat and mess with that a little bit. I love the Deluge but my hype for it still died down as I unboxed it. If you go back and watch that video, it might not seem like it, and that is because, of course, I do put on a bit of a persona for the camera. I don't really try to, but it's pretty hard not to do that when you're not a professional, which I am nowhere near a professional actor or, presenter or anything like that. So I started to think to myself, why does this happen? Why is my excitement for these pieces of gear, which just minutes before getting the box, was off the charts, why is it dying so quickly when I unbox that gear? And I came to the conclusion that I actually enjoy the anticipation of getting the new gear more than I do actually unboxing it and using it for the first 10 minutes or so. And by the way, 10 minutes is, of course, just an estimate, but when I do unbox a new piece of gear, I usually play with it for about 10 minutes and then immediately take a break and come back to it, and that's when I start to deep dive. But that really interested me. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with me, daydreaming of the possibilities and how I'm going to incorporate it into my music. And, just gas itself, filling my head with all these delusions of grandeur. I'm going to make the biggest electronic music track that anyone has ever seen. Okay, not to that extent, but you all get the point. I also think it has to deal with a lot of unanswered questions, like what is it actually going to feel like to use? What's it going to feel like when I turn it on for the first time, when I first hear it? So, of course, having almost all of those questions answered immediately in like a 10-minute span kind of kills the hype. And again, that's not saying that I think that piece of gear is instantly bad. It's more of just an indication of how excited I was. So let's apply that to gas now, because when I start to look at a new piece of gear, for instance, today it was the Polyend Play. I start thinking, okay, well, how would I use that? Will it fit in my setup? I start going through the research phase, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But now, before I even get halfway through the research phase, I stop and ask, how will I feel the minute I unbox this and the first 10 minutes of me using it? And I start to imagine unboxing it, and I can feel inside, I can feel the hype I have dying away. And that is a very relieving thing when I haven't yet bought the gear, because it changes my mindset a little bit. And I think, okay, well, what are reasons that the hype would die away? Why would I start to feel like that? So I start to look at the things I don't like, and I actually already have a video about battling gas using negativity, which is one of my favorite videos now that I've made, I think. I will link that in the description below. But asking this one question is a really good way to get from the overhyped mindset to the analytical mindset, which is a great way to battle gas as well. So for me, this one question has really fixed my gas, and I've actually started using this since about the beginning of the year, right after I got the Deluge, actually. And you'll notice I've only purchased 2 pieces of gear this year for the channel, those being the Roland E4 and the Sonicware Liven XFM, both of which I really love, if you can't tell, by the way, by the number of times I've featured them on the channel already. So in conclusion, the whole point of this video, examine your entire purchasing process, from discovering the gear, researching it, ordering it, waiting for it / anticipating it, and unboxing it. Find where your hype is at its strongest, and find where your hype is at its lowest, and ask yourself what makes the hype jump between those 2 points. Turn that into a question and start asking yourself that question whenever you feel gas coming on. Hopefully it'll help you out. As always in these gas videos, please share your strategies for dealing with it in the comment section below. We always get some great interaction from the community in there, and I am really looking forward to reading what you all have to say. I do hope you found this video informative, or at least entertaining. This one was not entertaining, so informative, I guess. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike, of course. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. I do hope to see you all at the live stream concert. We've got 3 show dates coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate you all being here again. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.